All right, welcome back to another episode of the John Wayne Search Protected Podcast. I'm Alex Midway.
And I'm Eric Halsey, and as always, another 60-40 production.
And today we're going to be talking about a little young up-and-comer, a little modern-day farmer bro of a different shade, if you will. Our boy Vivek.
Real salt-of-the-earth fella.
Yeah. I mean, salt of another earth, but it is what it is. Today we're going to get a little bit of a background on Vivek. We're going to talk about his wonderful college career, all the hardcore frats that he was a part of, and obviously his modern-day life. So we might also touch base on his family as well, because one of those is kind of fun, relating to birthright citizenship. So, essentially, Vivek wasn't born here. I think we can kind of tell, just like Ann Coulter. We didn't need her eyes to notice that little discrepancy. But him and his family came here legally to Cincinnati from India. Vivek he's a smart guy. Is he smart in the sense that he's like scientifically smart? No, but the man does have a lot more money than you and I put together.
And ever will.
Yeah, well, I mean, until we chill out and sell out to the Republican campaign and just start bashing Obama, calling him, mentioning his middle name, Hussein again. Yeah, dream of every young boy up and coming.
Well, if there's ever a family to pull this off, it would be his.
Yeah. So Vivek did very well. He was actually valedictorian in high school. He was a nationally ranked junior tennis player, and he was also an accomplished pianist. So a lot of the things that it's in the center of a Venn diagram with a common person. People living down in the South, Vivek, boom, accomplished pianist.
Yeah, when you think of the voter base, that's I mean, who amongst us wasn't valedictorian or nationally ranked as a tennis player? Back in Cincinnati,
getting D1 scholarships in tennis. Real alpha male stuff.
When I think that Midwest Rust Belt, I think tennis.
Real salt of the earth. So, speaking of his piano lessons, you don't get good at piano without an actual teacher. And his teacher was, a lot of people actually claim that she's the one who kind of molded him towards his current ideals, Mary Ann Jordan. And you would think that is actually a hyphenated first name. If you saw a picture of her, you'd be like, yeah, that's 1,000,000%. It is not. Those are three different words.
Yeah, so essentially, it kind of seems like everything's sort of the way his trajectory changed. This is sort of what the woman that gave him all the ideas, planted him in the head. Some circles you would say it's called grooming. I don't know if that's ours or not, but from everything I've heard about grooming, it looks like it was ticked every check mark on that box.
And that woman is salter than the vitamin salt, so it is what it is. Take that as you will. So, young Vivek over here, after crushing it in tennis and being very good on the piano, he's going to another salt of the earth university, which is Harvard.
It's kind of the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
It's we got to offer.
I mean, again, we didn't say the guy's an idiot. We're never going to say that. We're going to focus on some more things and other aspects of Vivek, but he's not a dummy. Nope. And down at Harvard, he became a member of Phi Beta Kappa. Beta is the operational word in that one, and if anyone listening is actually a member of that one, I'm sorry. It's time for me to knock this place down a couple pegs. Just because you're a lump. So they have an excellent...
How could you knock them down? Where would you start? With their alpha male colors?
Yeah. What are those colors, by the way?
Those would be a blue and pink. And if I'm not mistaken, it's
blue?
Sky blue.
Like
sky blue and pink, like you'd find on certain flags.
Mm-hmm. Just a real
people that aren't people anymore.
Yeah, borderline red, white, and blue for the colors.
It's like if you blended them all.
So they also have an excellence in liberal arts and sciences.
Oh,
yeah. So again, a lot of things in common.
That goes to show you proper grooming can stop you from letting those college liberals get to you.
Yeah. So, well, Vivek was he was a smart boy. We're still immigrants, so Vivek wasn't exactly able to get into college by himself. So you might wonder, how did Vivek do this? Well, did he pull himself up by his bootstraps? Did he go work a 9-to-5 little paper route? What exactly did he do to get into college?
Well, the only way I know of to not get destroyed with student loans and whatnot would be to try and apply for scholarships, maybe?
Correct. Now, you need someone who has more money than you, somebody who might be trying to help people benefit and, just make it rain a little bit. And it actually happens that most of the people listening know about this person. Maybe not about the scholarship, but they know about the name. That name is, drumroll,
George Soros.
Oh, boy. Where do we know him from?
That uber conservative guy.
The guy who's just out there. He's constantly mentioned on Fox News in a very different light.
But why would a guy like Vivek with such steel nerves of just backbone for days take a scholarship from some commie liberal guy like George Soros?
Well, clearly the taxes on this paper route were way too high. That's why we got to get rid of him. So, otherwise, he would have pulled himself up by his bootstraps. He's well on his way, and some yada, 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 George Soros, and here we are now. But
it is nice to know that occasionally some of that money does trickle down.
Yeah, it works. That's the only example we need to cite. But
it's like watering poison ivy.
Yeah. Vivek didn't exactly want this to come out. He actually, if you can also look into this as well. It's a gentleman by the username Jay Hofferman. He actually paid this guy to go on his wiki page and just start scrubbing away that he had the George Soros scholarship.
But wouldn't that be something you're proud about? They don't just give scholarships away. Shouldn't you just be proud? Like, hey, I worked. I was valedictorian. I played tennis. Like, you should be proud of that. Good men like George out there still paying for the little guy to get educated.
You would think that. You think Vivek is a confident dude. I mean, you know what? That's a part of a fabric that built you. Like, you got in there, you worked hard enough to have George Soros prop you up. Maybe he's not such a bad guy after all, but yeah, whatever. Go to your rally, scream about him. It is what it is. Keeps the lights on.
But you know what? Wasn't always super conservative, because I'm seeing here right now he had a little performative arts to him in college too, if I'm not mistaken.
He was the king of the karaoke, actually. He had a little bit of he had a little side hustle. You might, if you went to college, well, if anyone else here went to Harvard around the time of Vivek, you might have heard of a man called Vivek. It's DA space VEK. Really, really gets the urban vote going.
Man, I gotta tell you, you're selling me on this guy. I've heard all these terrible things, but George Soros paid for college. He's a karaoke king. I mean, is this guy a great guy? Is this the American dream?
He's checking a lot of boxes. I think right now we need to go ahead and sample a little bit of Vivek.
And the only thing that would make this guy better is if he could rap or something.
This isn't college Vivek. This is he's nice. He's perfect. He's perfected his flow, as they say in the industry. This is actually Vivek when he was stumping around at the Iowa State Fair. So he's doing a little bit of a cover of a song that a lot of us know. If it sounds really nice at first, just understand this is still Eminem singing the Lose Yourself part. Vivek will kick in a second. You will know exactly when he comes in.
I'll start the 7-second countdown so we don't get sued.
Loud, opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. Choking out, everybody's joking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, blast.
Yeah, I think time is kind of up on that one.
Oh, we're not even going to hear the mom spaghetti part? Or
Oh,
did he
yeah.
quit halfway through that?
Yeah, he punches out on that one. It's the Iowa State Fair, so the diversity is just as rampant as you might imagine it to be. And there is not much movement in that crowd, but on the bright side, there's no movement away from the stage either. So he kept the audience.
You know what, though? I do have to say, we can't do it because we'll get sued. But if you go find that YouTube clip, which is everywhere, you're welcome. Not once do you hear at an Iowa State Fair any of the crowd get mad and start screaming, "Play Freebird." So, to his credit, maybe it wasn't as terrible as it sounds.
I mean, when you have to choose from essentially the Village People or Eminem, I don't know. I'd say give the edge to Vivek on this one.
I think that'll all depend on how high your office you're holding is.
Yeah. Doge. So, we kind of ran through a little bit of Vivek here, his earlier days, and now we're kind of focused a little bit on not the now just yet, but how did Vivek make so much money? And he made a lot of money. That is not contested, but how he made the money is not exactly in the nicest way.
What do you mean it's not in the nicest way? Did he not pull his bootstrap together and start at an entry level position and work his way up like we've been told we're supposed to do? So
again, just like his tennis lessons and his piano lessons, but he did a lot of very common things that a lot of us do. He started a company. The company was called Roivant. And just like you and I, we always incorporate our companies into Bermudas, which is a tax haven.
You mean he's not using the Cincinnati address that he's actually doing this stuff out of? Why would you use Bermuda?
No. Some people incorporate in Delaware because it's a lot more company friendly, but our guy goes straight to the Bahamas, so a little bit different on that one.
All right. Well, I'm still getting a lot of Rust Belt Midwest feel from him, though. But all right, we'll skip over that. What else we got? So, what do you do with this company? What did you create that could make you $200 million?
So he actually did. He didn't invent something. He invented how to take it from another company. So GlaxoSmithKline, that's actually a doable name. A lot of people know about them. If they don't, they make some of the drugs you or your grandparents all take to stay alive for much longer. So one of the things is actually an Alzheimer's drugs. So the way these things work, all these companies will essentially start developing these vaccines, these drugs, and everything else. And then because of evil government regulation, they're forced to have trials. And at that point in the trials, they can tell if they've passed or failed or which way is the next step. So GlaxoSmithKline had an Alzheimer's drug called Interperdine. I don't know, man. None of these things make sense. It's got to have that catchy name, a little jingle to it for me to be able to say it. But either way, our guy
Valtrex.
Like Valtrex, it just rolls off the one lip that's all busted up. But Interperdine, whatever we'll call it, that was the drug that he got. And he did it really smart, actually. The reason the company got so much pull and the reason the stock went up to $20 at a certain point is the fact that he got some of the people from GlaxoSmithKline to work with him. So if you ever remember the lady from what's the one company with the Theranos, that the one broad who dressed up like Steve Jobs all the time, wore turtleneck and talked in a deeper accent. He essentially kind of did the same thing, but he bought a failed drug. She just tried to market a failed machine. So essentially, they get this whole thing and they're trying to go through it, and they just keep messing up these trials. They still can't get it done because, I don't know, man, $1 billion company tried, and then you come puttering along buying a trash heap. Weird. It's like when you take the Amazon return boxes and then you open up inside and you just use diapers instead of that Vitamix that you thought you'd get. It's not going to happen.
Sounds like he's got some American ingenuity up his sleeve, ready to roll. So what happened once all these trials failed? How do you make money from failure?
Lies. You go straight lies. And the best way to lie is to get someone from your family to hook you up. That's what Vivek did. And I mean, honestly, he's a job creator. He brought his mom in. And his mom ran a couple studies. And lo and behold, she did the test and recommended that a drug moves to phase 3. That's almost pre-production down there. So Mama comes in.
I hear the sarcasm in your voice there, but it sounds like he pulled himself up by his bootstraps, and him and his mom, who definitely don't have any sort of conflict of interest there, made a drug work that this billion-dollar company couldn't. I mean, isn't he a good guy for doing it? He must be some sort of scientific genius.
It would be awesome. It would be so awesome because I think we all know someone who has Alzheimer's, and I feel like you may have heard about it, and having a vaccine, a cure, or anything else that treats a disease where someone else failed would make you a genius, and it would make you super duper rich.
Shut up and take my money.
Essentially. But there was nothing to buy. When this stock, I told you went to $20, well, it proceeded to quickly go to 40 cents. Yeah, so a lot of people who bought into this whole thing, when they're watching out their the money shows and everything else with Kramer, and he's just down there beating the drum like, bye, bye, bye. Oh, and he was on that show, by the way, and he talked about it like, bye, bye, bye. Feel free to take a look at that one. But they lost a whole lot of cash.
Well, it doesn't sound like they lost a whole bunch of. It sounded like the investors did.
Yeah. Well, one investor who did not was Vivek. Him and his family actually sold their position shortly afterwards. When the IPO gets released, they punch out, take a bunch of money, and now he seems like a genius in the biology field, which is, it's not the case. Like, he worked the system. He screwed people.
Man. Kind of sounds like the Haktua coin of medicine.
Yeah, sounds like a whole lot of shilling for nothing. It's if you hear some of his stuff, it's hilarious. Like, the guy's out there, he's like, yeah, we got the smartest people, we got the brightest people, and you might have heard it from somebody else. We have the best everything, best things all the time. You just take this drug and it magically makes things disappear. Just so good, so good. I don't know if that rings a bell for anybody, if it's anything current, but it is what it is.
Well, one thing I do know is that once you get the best people, what comes with that is longevity. And when you have that long, drawn-out process of just nothing but success after success after success, the people stay with you, Like that guy.
The company name, you should be all right, because Roivant went to Axovan, and then now currently in its current iteration, Cyogene Therapies. So it's been a couple times. Vivek's not on the board anymore. It actually does have some promising things that are coming through the pipeline, but again, Vivek's not on the board anymore, so it might be a legitimate company.
I gotta stop you. What I don't get is, when you have a clear conflict of interest, like, how is this legal? It doesn't seem like you should just be able to be like, oh, this failed for everybody, but my mom got it to work. So I know your mom, very bright woman. My mom, I'm scared to death of her, but also I think she knows everything. So maybe he was honestly like, no, maybe Vivek's not the evil guy. Maybe it's his mother.
Might have to do another episode on his mom.
Whoa.
Check out his whole family.
It just came to me, but it seems like maybe Vivek's got a bad rap, and his mom's been the puppeteer this whole time.
Hey, who knows? She is a U.S. citizen, though. His dad's not a big fan of it, so there's always that. I'm just saying. So,
well, when he ends up in a Latino detention camp, and
he might have a chance of that one. Honestly, like, I like how Vivek's just chilling and he's trying to get under the base and be the cool kid club, but he's not being accepted very well. Like the gatekeepers of a Republican Party, not too keen on the guy. Did you ever watch the Ann Coulter interview with him?
I didn't, but one thing I do know is anybody who worked for Fox, you can they have a pretty good vetting system, and they don't just throw their support behind anybody. There has to be like logical reasons, like I don't like your stance on this, or this stance bothered me. How explain this? There's always reasoning behind it. What did our girl Ann say?
Oh, well, I actually got the little interview queued up here. So
from her own voice?
Hey, we like to take it from a horse's mouth, literally. In this
case. I would love to hear this policy she had an issue with.
And here we go. Let's see what Ann Coulter's not a big fan of about Vivek.
Take it away, Ted Petty.
You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that.
Yeah. So take that one in, but come on, Ann. I'm sure you recover well.
Out about them. That's derogatory. And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian. We'll get.
There we are. All right. So it's a clear policy issue.
The policy where he was born. Like, you should see Vivek. He's just sitting there. He's like, mother effer. Like this is what I have to take in order to, so that later on I can kiss a ring.
This is, and honestly, I don't know how you hear something like that and go, oh, I mean, she's got a point.
This party loves me. Let's do this. You guys know I play piano?
Jesus Christ.
Like, you just get knocked out by this woman. And this is back when even Trump was on the stage, like lying Ted Cruz. Are we still doing that, or is he cool now? But like, they're all on stage and she's like, yeah, man, I got more in common with you than Trump. But you're an Indian, so go F yourself. Like, what's going on, man?
Even sarcastically, it's hard to be like, well, she has a point here. Like, how do you devil's advocate that?
It's funny because later on he tried to recover. He went on an interview. I don't know if you've heard of him, but I mean, Ezra Klein, he does some shows out there. I personally never heard of a single one, but he goes on this one and tries to do damage control. And can you imagine how he justified Ann Coulter not liking him?
I'm guessing he made like a heartfelt appeal to maybe skin color or country of origin doesn't so much matter as the education and your thought process and your future thinking. That's my guess.
I mean, it's a pretty good guess. It's very rational, but it's very, very wrong.
Oh.
Exact words. She didn't like me because of my qualifications. Homie, those aren't qualifications. That's your bloodline that she was just sat down on and let it rip.
Well, in Ann Coulter's defense, there used to be a whole bunch of country clubs that had that same qualification issue with people until, they ended the whole Jim Crow thing. But
I thought you were talking about the shorts on golf courses. Whoops. Samesies.
Oh, that's bad, man. It's
that's kind of a wrap up on Vivek there.
to apologize on a different show for Ann Coulter. Like, how do you just this? Yes, Amasa.
The fact that he's still with him and he's like, you know what? I'm all in, man. This is awesome. Like, let's do this. Like, whatever it takes to get any sort of power. Like, it's disgusting.
Well, all I know is we're going to revisit this topic when we do our JD Vance episode.
Or Vivek
to apologize for his wife being Indian.
Yeah, well, just like Ted Cruz, he had to apologize, kiss the ring after he called his wife ugly. But it's fine. They recovered in the Bahamas when his entire state was powerless.
Oh, no, that was Mexico.
Yeah,
that was Mexico. He flew
Mexico.
to.
Uh-huh.
But he just took that flight just to drop his kid off.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
in first class.
Nothing to do with backlash.
So I think we wrapped up on Vivek. We had a couple downers. So we're gonna do the upcoming episode. It's gonna be a man of a people, a real man of a people.
Yeah, your favorite terrorist, Luigi Mangione.
And by then, we should be able to learn to say his last name correctly. We got to give him at least that level of respect.
I refuse to. From now, do you know how much effort it took where the only Luigi you ever knew about was Mario's brother? And now you say Luigi and you automatically think, oh, that terrorist. It's to be able to steal a name from pop culture with one simple act.
He took it from a plumber. It's tough.
Son of a plumber. He's like Dusty Rhodes.
So I'm Alex Midway for the John Wayne Search Protector.
I'm Eric Halsey.
And remember,
Daddy, chill.